We're fresh off the release of the Air Max 180 Quick Strike Pack. It just came out this last weekend and they're still available on Nike.com. And so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to talk about what, in my opinion, is the golden era of Nike Air. Come on over here, have a look at this quick pack of shoes. One thing interesting to note is that for the first time in a long time, Nike's calling this the Air Max 180. For a while, it's just been the Air 180. And you'll notice QS on there. It stands for Quick Strike, which means that the pairs were very limited. These two were original colorways back in 1992. The pair on the corner over there was actually a women's pair back in the day, and then the Concord pair was worn by Michael Jordan in 1992 in Barcelona. Go ahead and Google Michael Jordan Air 180 and you can see some amazing pics of Michael wearing this pair of shoes. So fresh off the release of these shoes, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to talk about Nike Air and how back in the day when I was growing up, the air that was going on in running shoes was being mimicked in Nike basketball shoes as well. This pair over here is the ultramarine colorway of the Air 180. It's the original colorway of the shoe, and it was my dad's favorite running shoe back in the day. So the reason why the shoe is called the Air 180 is because you can see visible air going 180 degrees around the outsole of the shoe. And this was a huge innovation. Nike Air came about in 1979. Visible air happened in the Air Max 1 in 1987. And in 92 with the Air 180, for the first time we got to see visible air 180 degrees around the outsole of the shoe. A year later in 1993, we got this amazing pair of Air Maxes. And back then they were called the Air Max 270 because you could see visible air going around the heel 270 degrees. So just like this was happening in these amazing running shoes, it was also happening in Nike basketball shoes. And let me move these out of the way, and I want to show you some incredible basketball shoes from 92, 93 that have the exact same technology going on as these 180s and as these 270s. So Charles Barkley was a huge Nike athlete back in the day, and this was his pair of shoes in 1992. It's called the Air Force 180 because you can see visible air going 180 degrees around the outsole of the shoe. In 92, Barkley also went to Barcelona with the Dream Team, and he wore a pair of these that are in Olympic colors. And we'll get to those when we get to the Olympic exhibit, but I really just wanted to show you how in 92, the air in the basketball shoes was the same as it was in the running shoes. And usually the running shoes would debut first. So let's go over here to the 93s, okay? 270 degrees of visible air. So you know the same thing's gonna happen with the basketball shoes. Check out this pair. They're known as the Air Force Max, and you can see that 270 degrees of visible air going around the heel. Barkley wore these shoes in 1993 when the Suns lost to the Chicago Bulls as MJ three-peated for the first time. These shoes were also made famous by the Fab Five at Michigan. 5 freshmen at the University of Michigan who rocked these shoes with black socks and baggy shorts. And from then on, baggy shorts became the real thing in the NBA and at the college level. So this pair of shoes Barkley was also wearing during the I'm Not a Role Model campaign. Nike and Charles Barkley created an awesome commercial where Barkley said that he is not a role model. And all of this happened in 1993. Barkley said just because he could dunk a basketball, that didn't mean that kids should really look up to him or think of him as a role model. And he said 1 million people can dunk a basketball in jail and they're not worth looking up to. And to this day, Charles Barkley still says that that was his biggest accomplishment in his career. And maybe that's because he never won a championship. But either way, he sparked the debate about what a role model is. Anyhow, I've really enjoyed walking you through 92 and 93 and showing you how the air got bigger in the running shoes and also in the basketball shoes. And by the way, David Robinson was also wearing basketball shoes that had the same thing going on in 92 with this Air 180 going around the bottom. The basketball shoes were just like the running shoes and they were all amazing.